This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLessio and Kenny Bergamy.
Together again, Kenny, me, you, us. As always, grateful you decided to spend 30 minutes of your day with us. If you are a first-time viewer, welcome. Hope you enjoy the show because we have got a lot to discuss.
Yes, we do. And here's what's coming up. It's been quite the roller coaster of emotions for cotton producers this planting season. John Holcomb reports from TIFT County on what kind of crop they're expecting this summer. Back in March, temperatures in Georgia dipped into the 20s in some areas, and that had peach growers sweating up a storm. What effects, if any, will it have on this year's harvest, which is now underway?
And then later, 1 little, 2 little, 3 little. Who's counting? It's your pizza. Put as much on it as you want. And best of all, this pizza features fresh, healthy Georgia vegetables. Meals from the field and more starts right now on the Farm Monitor.
After one of the best crops in recent memory, Georgia cotton producers are having a rough go of things getting this year's crop in the ground. It's an issue that's concerning for growers as we now close the book on the month of May. But as the Monitor's John Holcomb reports, experts are still optimistic.
Spring has sprung here in Georgia, which means it's time for cotton producers to get into their fields to plant this year's crop. But due to soil moisture levels and lack of rainfall, producers like Wes Shannon, a producer in TIFT County, are having a hard time getting their 2022 crop in the ground.
We didn't get started planting cotton until about mid-May this year. We had a dry spell, and we were planting some peanuts and got a little shower of rain on about the 15th of May and started planting. We're working on that moisture right now. We're about to run short again. It's kind of a typical May where it can be dry on you, and you have to dust it in or something like that and hope and pray for those rains to come.
This, of course, comes on the heels of a year that had so much moisture throughout the season. Shannon says they didn't even have to irrigate some of their crop.
We had a good season last year. We had some pivots that didn't even run. We had ample moisture from the rain. Got the crop out well enough. Had one of the better crops we've had around here in quite a while.
Shannon isn't the only one, though. According to experts, this is the story for many, as a third of Georgia counties are experiencing drought conditions. It just depends on where you are in the state.
There are pockets of folks that I know are probably 80–90% done, and there's some that hadn't even got started yet. So, it's just a wide range of planting dates and things like that. But we all know it's been dry lately. Rains have been kind of hit or miss, and luckily the past couple weeks a few people have been able to catch some good rain and been able to put their crop in the ground. So I feel like the situation for where we are right now is pretty good, considering how dry and hot and the wind's been blowing. So it's been a tough situation. People who have moisture have been losing it really fast. So the situation right now I feel like is pretty good, considering where we are.
Hand reassures, though, that there's still time, and producers should be patient and remain hopeful for the coming weeks.
We still have time. It's not time to push the panic button yet. I wouldn't go dusting in a crop yet. There's still a lot of time on the clock here. And two, I'm sure many people have been watching the weather religiously. There's a tropical depression that's supposed to be coming in at the end of this month, right around Memorial Day. So I feel like that gives a lot of people some hope.
Of course, though, inputs are still a concern, which have more than doubled since last year. But according to Hand, the price of cotton heading into the season is looking good, which means that there's still potential for producers to have a good year.
Fertilizer's high. Roundup is high, might be short, same with Liberty, things like that. Okay, we're going to have issues, right? And there's a lot of people putting stuff out there that are probably scaring folks more than they need to be scared. Okay, so again, it's just that thing of, hey, let's not freak out. The price of cotton is really good right now. We can still make money with a crop. Even though it seems really difficult, I think we're set up to have a pretty good year so far. So I feel like we're in good shape right now.
Reporting in Tifton for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
right, on the road around Georgia, plenty of special events recently, events the Farm Monitor was fortunate to attend. Case in point, this one in McDuffie County, where we followed Georgia State Superintendent of Schools Richard Woods as he was given a first-hand look at the robotic milking stations at Hillcrest Dairy, along with students from nearby Deering Elementary who make up the school's robotics club. Superintendent Woods, no stranger to farm life, actually grew up on a farm, which was evident by his superb skills during the cow milking demonstration. Woods saying experiences like this one can help lead to careers in the ag industry.
This is what we call STEAM technology, really, when you talk about science, technology, engineering, and math, and from robotics to veterinarian to just even the art design. All this goes in with marketing, so just a great experience today.
Air evac, you are cleared for landing. Fortunately, though, it wasn't for any type of emergency or life-threatening situation. No, it was just one of the many highlights of the Piedmont Cattlemen's Association's annual field day at Mark's Family Farm in Mansfield. The focus of this particular meeting, you guessed it, farm safety.
Farm safety is something that's overlooked a lot, and you never know. And most firemen in our area aren't familiar with tractors or hay balers or any kind of farm equipment, so we plan on giving them a demonstration on some of the equipment running so they can see the chains and the belts and that kind of stuff. And as simple as it sounds to us, turning the PTO off on a tractor, if you don't have any idea, it doesn't have a big sign that says PTO, it's a yellow button. So teaching these people where if they get to a scene where somebody's in danger or hurt or entrapped, they can better be prepared for what they've got to do.
Our final stop on this tour of Georgia, Albany, and the announcement of a very good cause put forth by the Georgia Peanut Commission and Peanut Proud.
Today, the peanut industry is very proud to send over 34,000 jars of Peanut Proud peanut butter to refugees from Ukraine. And so this peanut butter will be distributed through an organization called World of Giving. For those who are interested in donating to Peanut Proud, they can visit the website at peanutproud.org.
Oh, get ready to see fresh Georgia peaches at your local grocery store as harvest season is now officially underway. And as Damon Jones reports, it's a crop that growers were not so sure they'd ever see due to a historic late freeze.
After months of preparation, planting, and pruning, sweet Georgia peaches are now ready for harvest. It's a time of year that can't get here soon enough for the growers as they finally get a chance to realize all the fruits of their labor.
It's the best. It's because peaches are so unique and every one of them is unique. They all have different personalities. They're all like little children. So, you try, you plot, you plan, and you think about it all year, and then you get about 10 days to realize that on that particular tree or that particular block of trees. So it's very rewarding to finally get to harvest. And you got to appreciate it because it's here and gone. Just like peaches in general, but for us that study it and live it, we only get a few days to enjoy it.
However, getting to this point was anything but an easy journey, as the one thing a grower wants to avoid, the dreaded late freeze, threatened to wipe out the entire crop. So while the numbers might be down in the early varieties, they are thankful to have something to harvest.
We hadn't seen 22 degrees in 7 or 8 years at any time in the year, much less in March, so it's pretty dangerous. I thought it was a crop ender. We were in full bloom on 80% of our stuff, and it was forecast to be 24, wound up getting to 22. And I really don't know why we came out with any early peaches. So I think every one of them is a blessing in May.
What the early crop lacks in quantity, it more than makes up for in quality, as Mother Nature gave these varieties a much-needed reprieve after the late freeze with ideal conditions.
Quality is fantastic. We've had, since the day of the freeze, we've had almost perfect weather. It's been cool. It's been somewhat dry. Peaches are eating great. And they look to size better. They were thinned early. So all in all, I'm looking for really good quality.
And another silver lining is that the later varieties hadn't yet started to bloom during the freeze, which means those fruits will receive the full benefit from those weather conditions.
We had a pretty bad freeze in March that took over half our early crop, but as we go through the season and get into June and July, it's looking better and better, and by July, we're excited about it. We have a big crop. Sometimes we struggle to set late peaches as late July and August peaches, but this year they set wonderfully. They have look to be big and clean, and I think we're going to have really good quality in July. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And so are the consumers, as demand for Georgia's signature fruit just continues to grow. And because of that, it allows growers to work together in order to keep a steady supply of peaches on store shelves.
Selling them, it's been a joy too, because there's demand there, and we're working cooperatively as a group of growers in Georgia to sell them, and we support one another and we support one another's programs. So it's really a joy, and there's not a whole lot of fear about not being able to sell these peaches. And as long as we deliver peaches that eat right, I feel like we'll be in good shape.
Reporting from Peach County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
Well, no need to fly to Chicago or New York for a good deep dish pizza. After the break, Ray and Marcia with an easy-to-make recipe that's sure to satisfy all your pizza cravings. Meals from the Field when the Farm Monitor continues.
A typical day at the YFNR conference is different from year to year. I've been coming many years, and honestly it's never been the same, and that's the exciting part, is to see what will come from speakers to breakout sessions that allow you to choose what area you want to listen to, so you're not forced into a box. You create your own schedule throughout the day.
I'm not gonna lie. That, my friends, right there, that is a skill set that I have always wanted to master. So today, when Marcia told me what we were going to be doing, I got so excited because I told her I am going to try this. And you know what she told me? She said, absolutely not. Not in my kitchen. You're not gonna let me spin a pizza?
If you can, sure, go for it.
Hey, welcome back to another edition of Meals from the Field. Joining me, as always, Marcia Crowley. So good to see you again.
Good to see you, Ray.
I am excited, though, because when you said
these are good.
Pizza, me, I love pizza, and this is a healthy pizza, veggie pizza, really.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing.
That's what we're doing.
Take it away.
All right, the first thing we're going to do, this is a yellow squash tomato gratin. Okay, so you slice some yellow squash really thin, and all this is in season, of course. Finally getting into some stuff. This is like a third of the amount of squash, and this is 3 to 4 large squash sliced. Okay, I've already got that in here. It's a little salt, a little pepper. I'm gonna layer the sliced tomatoes. These are Roma tomatoes, and they have been draining, so to speak, soaking up some of the moisture on a paper towel. If not, it'll be way, way too soggy for you. So we're just gonna layer some of those. Like half of the tomatoes. This is 4 Roma tomatoes. All right, then this is ricotta cheese, a cup of ricotta cheese, like a half a cup of Parmesan cheese, and some garlic. Okay. And you're just gonna spread half of that over this mixture.
And obviously this is not the pizza. We're not doing the pizza.
No, this is not the pizza.
Okay.
Not yet. No, the pizza was really good and fun to make. But this is really, really good. It's kind of a take on a tomato pie, but with squash.
Okay.
All right, we're gonna pretend that's half of it. You're gonna sprinkle a little bit of fresh basil, and this calls for like 8 leaves of fresh basil. Sprinkle that over there. Some more squash, and I'm not going to do all of this because you don't know how to layer, hopefully. If you can't, then you probably might not want to try this recipe.
I think we're good with layering.
I think we're good with layering. Yeah, it's pretty easy. All right, just going to layer another third of the squash. Basically, it's squash, tomatoes, ricotta cheese, more squash. You're going to end up with squash on the top. All right, more tomatoes. Like I said, this is really, really, really good with steak.
Oh.
All right, then you're going to do the rest of this ricotta mixture.
More layers.
More layering. Kind of like maybe a veggie lasagna would be a good way to. And this is going to cook in, obviously. All right. Then we're going to add more basil. Top with the rest of the squash.
It's starting to take shape.
Yes, it is.
Look
That's
how-
good. This was a hit.
Look how pretty that is.
It's very, very pretty. All right, that should do it on that. Then you're going to sprinkle it with half a cup of Parmesan cheese. And some breadcrumbs, and the breadcrumbs are optional. I just think it adds a nice little crunch. You're going to bake this at 400 for about 30 minutes.
Okay.
And I think you'll like it. I really do.
Any particular type of breadcrumbs? Maybe Italian flavor?
Italian would be
seasoning?
really good. That's
Okay.
what these are,
That's
Italian.
Italian seasoning?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's Italian breadcrumbs. All right,
There
here we go, Ray.
There we go.
Your pizza. Now you can buy, I bought this pizza crust at a grocery store. They have it in the deli sometimes, you know. You can buy it, they'll just sell the pizza crust. Go ahead. I can't wait.
I'm not going to do it.
You can use that, or they can buy them already rolled out, or you can buy them with the biscuits. So whatever pizza crust you want. Like I said, I got this at a grocery store. You can go into your favorite pizzeria. Sometimes they'll just sell you the crust. All right, this is a half a cup of store-bought Alfredo sauce instead of the red sauce. Put that over there. And of course you can roll the pizza out to whatever thickness you like. I kind of like a thick crust pizza myself. I mean, the crust makes the pizza, right? Mm-hmm. All right, then you're just going to start putting stuff on there.
More layers.
More layers, here we go. Some red bell pepper, and here you can swap out these veggies for anything, but I just happen to like a pepper, onion, that kind of stuff on a pizza. Green pepper. You could use yellow, you could leave the peppers off. You could add meat if you wanted to, but that wouldn't be a veggie pizza, would it?
No. How about pineapple?
Pineapple? Yeah, I don't know. Pizza's kind of like my burger, kind of don't mess with it. Give me a kind of a traditional one.
Since we're in Georgia, blueberries maybe.
Blueberries or peaches. I have had a peach pizza. Onion, these are Vidalias, but you could use red onion. And you obviously can add more stuff. Fresh basil. And here again, that's what the pizza smells like. When you walked in, you said it smelled like a pizzeria.
It did. As soon as
That's
I
what
walked
it
in,
is.
I felt like I was in a pizzeria,
And
like
then-
in New York City.
And fresh mozzarella, and this makes a huge difference. And you buy this in the deli section with the gourmet cheeses and stuff. You could use the already shredded if you wanted to cut corners, and it's a little bit more budget friendly than this. And you're going to bake this at 400 for about 20 minutes. And there you have your pizza.
There you have your veggie pizza.
And then we've got a dessert that I'll put on your website, and all it is crushed ginger snaps, lemon yogurt, which is different, Cool Whip, blueberries.
Okay.
That's it, and it's a light dessert.
Okay, and all that will be up on the
Yep.
recipe site. Of course, that site, very simple. Just log on to farm-monitor.com, go up to the very top, click on the recipe section. All kinds of stuff on there. Now, have we done a pizza before? I'm trying
We
to
have
remember.
not ever done a pizza
So now we
before.
have pizza on there. We've got all kinds of stuff on there. Go on there, find that recipe for the pizza and flip your dough at home as well. That might be a new saying. Dude, I almost flipped my dough, man. It's kind of a cool saying, you know?
Yeah, I guess.
Marcia, it's so good to see you again. You know,
see you, Ray.
Sometimes the brain just doesn't function properly, but good to see you again. Good to see you as well, and we'll talk to you next month.
Up next, how USDA is delivering real-world solutions to help farmers, ranchers, and forest landowners reduce methane and other greenhouse gas emissions.
Hi, it's Slayton Carter with Georgia Farm Bureau. We hope you know how much we appreciate you tuning in to this week's episode of Farm Monitor. This programming is one of many programs brought to you by the members of Georgia Farm Bureau. As an advocacy organization, Georgia Farm Bureau strives to educate consumers on the importance of agriculture, whether that be through Farm Monitor or certified farm markets or our Ag in the Classroom initiatives. But most importantly, we work to educate those who may not understand the negative impact that certain legislative policy can have on our ag industry. In fact, that's the primary and ongoing goal of our organization, to represent the interest of Georgia farmers in the legislative arena. We're a grassroots federation, which means our farmer members are the ones who build our policy. We just fight for their voice to be heard. Even if you aren't a farmer, that doesn't mean your membership matters any less. In fact, it shows that you care and understand about how certain policy can affect our farmers, whom we all depend on. We wouldn't be much without our farmers, especially here in Georgia. And if you feel the same way, we'd like for you to join us in our fight to protect those who protect us and our food supply. Anyone who joins or renews their membership online during Membership May will receive a thank you gift as a sign of our gratitude. Be sure to visit our website at gfb.org soon, because this offer is only valid while supplies last.
Methane is a powerful greenhouse gas. So powerful, in fact, that its impact on climate change is 28 to 36 times greater than carbon dioxide over a 100-year period. While humans are responsible for over half of global methane emissions, methane's short atmospheric lifetime, 12 years, means emissions reductions would quickly provide benefits for our climate and human health. USDA is helping farmers reduce methane through incentive-based, voluntary conservation programs and by creating new markets for climate-smart agricultural products and commodities. The USDA Agricultural Research Service, a world leader in agricultural greenhouse gas emissions research, is partnering with the Climate Hubs to deliver information and resources to better understand impacts and solutions around methane in agriculture. The Northeast Climate Hub joined with University of Delaware and other local partners to showcase practical adaptation and methane mitigation strategies using virtual tours. In one tour at Cornell University, users learn how methane emissions can be reduced by diverting organic wastes to biochar and compost, products that also store carbon. The Climate Hub's innovative and interactive products help deliver real-world solutions to reducing methane and other greenhouse gas emissions and supporting on-the-ground adaptation, mitigation, and resilience efforts for cleaner air and a healthier planet for all.
All right, once again, big thanks to USDA for all the great things they do, and thank you for making this show possible.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor. Stay safe and have a great week.